All right, welcome back to, I guess this is the third episode of this that I'm doing tonight. Whatever the hell this is with Hawk. I'm Hawk. Boy, howdy, we got to talk about Kash Patel, kids. But again, it's like, this is stuff that I record for YouTube. I normally do that in the home office that has all the studio equipment, but there's a fire and the dogs are sleeping out here. It's nicer out here. I'd rather be out here, so I'm recording these out here tonight. We have to talk about Kash Patel. Kash Patel, and I've been saying this for a couple of weeks. I think that Kash Patel is going to be Donald Trump's nominee to run the FBI. And I'm going to do a separate episode about this. The Atlantic put out an article on Kash Patel, and it was titled, "The Man Who Will Do Anything for Donald Trump. Why Kash Patel is exactly the kind of person who would serve in a second Trump administration." Kash Patel will do absolutely anything that Donald Trump tells him to do, including break the law, allegedly. Kash Patel served as the chief of staff to the Department of Defense. I mean, he was appointed as acting deputy chief of staff to the Department of Defense during the last couple of weeks of Donald Trump's term, because Trump wanted him to access intelligence. Trump wanted him to access all of the Russia investigation intelligence that the DOD had, whatever. He's a toady. Before elevating to that position, Mr. Patel served as the National Security Advisor and Senior Counsel to the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence, where he spearheaded the investigation into the Russian Active Measures campaign to influence the 2016 presidential election. He was an assistant to Devin Nunes. And this is the guy that Donald Trump very, very much wants to name as the head of the FBI. What does Donald Trump care about coming into his second term? He doesn't give a shit about being president. He doesn't give a shit about governing. He doesn't give a shit about serving the American people. He cares about getting his hands on the Department of Justice. He cares about intelligence, classified documents, and he cares about the Department of Defense. And who has he nominated? And immigration, deporting 15 million undocumented and legal immigrants who are here in the United States. And who has he appointed to those positions? Stephen Miller, White House Deputy Chief of Staff, the third most powerful position inside the White House. And the only thing Stephen Miller cares about is the most draconian and inhumane methods of deporting people from the United States. Tulsi Gabbard, Director of National Intelligence. She's a Russian stooge. She's not loyal to the United States. Pete Hegseth, Department of Defense. Another man in Trump's universe who's credibly been accused of sexual assault / rape. He's a Fox News host. Matt Gaetz, for Attorney General. Credibly accused of child sex trafficking of minors across state lines and paying them for sex at drug-fueled orgies. And we get to Kash Patel. Trump wants to put him in charge of the Federal Bureau of Investigation, to go after the media, to go after members of Congress, to go after Trump's enemies, to go after anyone who was involved in his impeachments or his prosecutions. We'll get to that in a moment. But first, we're going to start with Kash Patel has written 4 books. Kash Patel has written 4 books. 3 of those books are children's books. The first one was published in April of 2022, The Plot Against the King. The book features such characters as King Donald and Queen Hillary. It's a book that perpetuates the false claim that the Steele dossier sparked investigations into Russian collusion. He took the Steele dossier and Russian collusion and turned it into an illustrated children's book for children. The Steele Dossier, book for children, King Donald. I'm not making that up. You can Google that. In the book titled The Plot Against the King, Patel repeats Trump's false claim that the FBI began investigating links between his campaign and Russia based on a dossier compiled by Christopher Steele, a former British spy. Because when you think children's books, you automatically think, the Steele dossier and the government investigating ties between Trump's first campaign in 2016 and Russia. This is real. I'm not making this up. The book claims the king was accused of cheating by a shifty knight named Adam Schiff, who claims to have a paper from a steel box attesting to wrongdoing, but Patel writes that he found evidence that the slug keeper Comey, a reference to FBI Director James Comey, put slugs in the steel box at the behest of Queen Hillary, who was also vying for the throne. I can't read any more of that. Okay, that brings us to his second children's book, The Plot Against the King 2, 2,000 Mules. Again, I'm not kidding. I'm not making this up. The Plot Against the King 2, 2,000 Mules. I'm going to read this whole thing because this is, you guys, you already think I'm making this up. I'm not making this up. Let's look at that fire again. How amazing is that? That is just absolutely amazing. And I'm watching a documentary on Leonardo da Vinci. Okay. Not Leonardo DiCaprio. Kash Patel partners with Brave Books to bring a fantastical retelling of the horrible plot against Donald Trump to the whole family. It teaches fairness, integrity, and most of all, and again, I'm not making this up, the importance of being truthful. This book should be in every school in the country. Donald J. Trump. Kash Patel tells the fantastical story of how two inquisitive minds, Dinesh D'Souza, and Debbie, search for the truth and uncover evidence of a terrible scheme to elect Sleepy Joe instead of King Donald on choosing day. Included in the book is a special message from Dinesh D'Souza, who's a convicted felon who was pardoned by Donald Trump. Again, you're going to think I'm making this up. I'm not making this up. Come join Dinesh and Debbie as they try to answer some troubling questions. Why did the counting stop in the middle of the night? Why were there more votes than people in the kingdom? What is up with all the glowing poo? I did not make that up. You can Google it. What is up with all the glowing poo? I mean, seriously, if you took a poo and it was glowing, you would stand there and go, what is up with all of that glowing poo? Which brings us to book 3, The Plot Against the King, or The Plot Against the King 3, The Return of the King, published in September of 2024. The Return of the King is the final book in the Plot Against the King trilogy. This book continues the silly yet important journey of the MAGA King as he returns to take down Kamala and reclaim his throne. This fun story is a great way to start a conversation with your kids about the election. It's also the perfect gag gift for a liberal friend or family member, which I think at Christmas would probably be met with a great big, fuck you. Which brings us to book 4, which is a book for grown-ups. Might as well write a book for adults. Government Gangsters, the Deep State, the Truth, and the Battle for Our Democracy. Published in September of 2023. A brilliant roadmap highlighting every corrupt actor to ultimately return our agencies and departments to work for the American people. We will use this blueprint to help us take back the White House and remove the gangsters in all forms of government. A sinister cabal, that was from Donald J. Trump, that blurb of blurb. A sinister cabal of corrupt law enforcement personnel, intelligence agents, and military officials at the highest level of government plotted to overthrow a president. Even after they failed, they continue to secretly pull the levers of power without any accountability to the American people. This is not a synopsis of a fictional spy thriller. This is what is actually happening in the United States of America. America. In Government Gangsters, Kash Patel pulls back the curtain on the deep state. Because apparently up until now, it's only been protected by a curtain. Revealing the major players and tactics within the permanent government bureaucracy, which has spent decades stripping power away from the American people and their elected leaders, like Marjorie Taylor Greene. Based on his firsthand knowledge, Patel reveals how we can defeat the deep state, reassert self-government, and restore our democracy. That one goes in the fireplace. Blech! He's going to start by prosecuting the media. Yes, he said to Steve Bannon in a recent appearance, "We will go out and find the conspirators, not just in government, but in the media." Yes, we're going to come after the people in the media who lied about American citizens, who helped Joe Biden rig presidential elections. We're going to come after you. Whether it's criminally or civilly, we'll figure it out. But yeah, we're putting you all on notice. Steve Bannon added his thoughts. Andrew Weissman, legal analyst for MSNBC and former member of the Mueller team. Weissman, you were on TV with MSNBC and all the producers. MSNBC, preserve your documents. Ari Melber and all you hosts, preserve your documents. All of it. You better be worried. You better lawyer up. Some of you young producers, you better call mom and dad tonight. Mom and dad, you know a good lawyer? Lawyer up. Lawyer up. Steve Bannon, who is going to go back to prison next year. So that is Kash Patel. He's going to go after everybody involved in the media who was ever critical of Donald Trump. He is going to go after, along with Matt Gaetz, everybody who was involved in the two impeachments, like Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, the impeachment managers in the House. He's going to go after everybody involved in Donald Trump's 4 criminal indictments in 4 separate jurisdictions from 4 separate grand juries in Manhattan, Washington, D.C., Fulton County, Georgia, and the Southern District of Florida. 91 felony counts originally indicted over 4 separate jurisdictions. He's going to go after Manhattan DA District Attorney Alvin Bragg. He's going to go after Fulton County District Attorney Fani Willis. He's going to go after New York State Attorney General Letitia James. He's going to go after Merrick Garland and Jack Smith, special counsel, and Judges Engeron and Juan Merchan. And he and Matt Gaetz are going to prosecute all these people. So if Kash Patel gets his fucking hands on the FBI, we are fucked. Especially if Matt Gaetz is the Attorney General of the United States of America, if he can drag himself away from drug-fueled sex orgies with minors. So apart from that, everything is amazing. I hope everybody has a fantastic week. Please stay safe. I'll see you soon. Thanks for tuning in to whatever the hell this is with Hawk.